All right, so to finish this up, I'm just playing with flickering in and out the dust. I want to have the timeline showing so I can show you all that works. And the problem with having a lot of frames is a lot of little customization to make, right? But basically, whenever he's moving, I want the dust to be there. I don't always want it to be perfectly consistent. So I can have it kind of flicker in and out at different amounts. Now the benefit of doing this is that it doesn't take any extra memory. And I need a few more flickers. And then I want to show you one other easy way you can animate with your existing layers and assets just in frames without having to bring in multiples. And that is that not only can you animate different blending modes and opacities on each frame, you can also animate different layer styles. So to show this most effectively, I think I have to get to maybe to where my creature is in the beginning. I have some dust flickering. And it kind of reestablishes itself. All right. So one frame where it drops out too much. There we go. Let's put some dust back in there. Okay, now on this, when I have just my creature turned on for this, I can actually select that layer by double clicking, and I'll get what are called layer styles. And I can animate this frame to frame. So for instance, here he is, but I'm going to make a duplicate of it, and then I'm going to add a layer style to this frame. And I'm going to add a slight outer glow. And I can really play with this. And that will kind of show some dust too. Play with the opacity, play with the blending mode, right? So there he doesn't have any, there he has more. I can change the color of it. And you'll see it's under effects now. So a lot of people call them layer effects, but they're called layer styles, and I'll probably screw up and call them different things. I can change its color, make it more of a dusty color, maybe a little bit darker. You can do gradients. If I wanted to give my character more of a deep shadow underneath, I can make that a multiply gradient. Like that. So that's a pretty big difference. And then what's cool is I can take those effects and I can carry them over. So in the next frame, where this creature is, watch what I can do. Go to the frame where I made the effects. Make a duplicate of it. This is kind of a little tricky. Make a duplicate of it. Carry those effects over onto the other layer you're going to use, which I think was this one. Right. And then delete that copy. And then you are able to turn those effects on. Oh, I picked the wrong one. In another layer. But basically, different layer effects that might be useful. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to copy this layer effect right here. Copy that whole layer. Just drag and drop it onto my assets, just to have it somewhere. Okay. Then I'm basically going to delete what's in there. So it's just the effects that are saved. And then I can work between that and drop those effects onto different layers as I need them. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so if I wanted that layer effect on this panel, that panel's turned on right there. I take that empty effects layer, I drop it on, and then I'm going to move those effects onto that panel and then delete that layer. See? So now I have it on both, and I can make adjustments. So for the outer glow, maybe I wanted that glow to be a little bit stronger just in this instance. The dust to be a little bit stronger. Maybe a little grainier. I can do that. And we're talking about major subtleties here. Now I'm curious if I can do that to all of them at once. Take a whole batch. This is something I haven't tried before. So take those effects, drop them on. No, there's no way I can do that. Let's see where. And then apply that. Yeah, because I have no idea what layers they are. I can apply it to that one. See, I can apply it. Oh, yeah, maybe so. Apply it to this one and turn it off. Apply it. Basically turn it off and oh, no, I need it. Sorry. Getting confused. Yep, apply it to this one and then turn it off here. Then apply it to just when he starts to walk. So this is just to give a little bit more drama to when he comes out of his shell. Now, what is this usually used for? Usually used to make things glow, to make lightsabers and all that kind of thing, affect their environment. And it works very well for that, these layer styles. And of course, the more frames you have, the more of a pain it is to add in special effects to each of them, and especially to customize them. But by copying the effects over into my assets, I can bring them over without having to do much else. Okay, and now we're getting into the walk cycle. Accidentally brought the whole layer over instead of just the effects, but it shouldn't matter. So each animation frame can be any number of factors turned on or off, including multiple layers, including multiple opacities, including multiple effects, and including multiple blending modes on those layers. So it's a really powerful tool. All right, so let's see how all that worked. So if I go to the very end, I have the dust kind of coming in. Accidentally turned him off on some layers, but I'll get him back. And now he starts walking. Yeah. Not super dramatic, but something I can actually use in my animation. Okay, what happened to my rolls? And now we're just troubleshooting it. So what we learned is if you're going to rotate something, that won't change layer to layer, but I will show you what does change. If you move something, layer to layer, like this, then that will be different for each layer. Getting myself in trouble here. Let's see. Why did layer one jump? Darn. All right, so I need to get layer one back to being right about here. You can also change the order of your frames. Good. Good. Not so needed. All right. What's going on? Oh, because they're still all selected. That's why. Yeah, problem when you have multiples selected, it's going to turn them off in all the various frames. So I need to Only have one layer selected at a time.